What's up, YouTube fans? Today I wanted to do a little update video. One, to kind of give some details on the issues I had with the KO Oversized Grimlock. But two, I wanted to kind of give some comparison with the Devastator figure and also show off my new review area. This is the new review area. It's actually the same area, but I've made some changes and I wanted to ask you guys what you thought. So I've changed the background here. This is it's actually white erase board, but it's a sticky kind of white erase board. So I wanted to know what you guys thought about this background and how it looks with the figures. I also wanted to get Devastator back up on this review area so that you guys could see what it looks like with the full background here, and do kind of a size comparison with this KO Oversized Grimlock. So that's why I'm doing this video. So please give me some comments. Let me know what you guys think about one, the new background, but two, kind of the size comparison here. So first, let's talk about the issues I had. I did repair or glue, I guess, this piece back on. It had fallen off on the original review, and I said I was going to glue it back on. It doesn't seem to have any problems. Actually, I think it's this one. It doesn't seem to have any issues. It's pretty tight now. I just used some plastic model cement, and that worked fine. It doesn't seem to have any issue staying in there. And then the other one was this rocket booster right here. Oop, you can't see that. You got the good one was here. This was the one that fell off, and I glued that on, and that looks fine. Doesn't seem to be falling off or anything. So really no issues. I was able to glue those on, and it did not cause any problems whatsoever using Tester's model cement. So I really like this guy now that I've got it fixed. Plus, I got him for a pretty good price. So yeah, he turned out good. So here, we'll turn on his sword here. Let's see if I can get him all the way over here, and then we'll bring Devastator in. And still much bigger. Whoa, falling down. Still a much bigger figure, but when you're looking at size comparison here, let's back up a little bit here. Now, I still can't fit Devastator in my review area, unfortunately, but I like the way these two look as far as size. You know, this is a Tyrannosaurus Rex versus 6 construction vehicles combined together. And as far as size is concerned, as far as, you know, comparison, they just look good together. It's a good scale for both. And I didn't show this in my original video, a comparison of these two, and now that I have it, it really goes well together. In fact, actually, I'm going to be displaying these two figures together. So that's about it, guys. This is a very short video, I know, but I just want to let you know that the KO, you know, after playing with this the second time and looking it over, still really good, still worth the money, and still a better figure than the Hasbro MP08. And again, I also wanted to talk, you know, just briefly about the figures I bought in 2015 and kind of my favorites and my thoughts. So we'll get all the figures out, at least what I consider the top 5 here of my collection. Now again, keep in mind this is only official Takara releases or KO releases. I do not have third-party releases other than Apollyon, which is going to be in the top 5. So we'll take a break right now and be right back with all the top 5. Okay guys, we're back with our number 5 figure for the 2015 year. This is KO Masterpiece Exhaust. the only reason the KO is here is because I never got the real one. So the real one, and everyone knows kind of the backstory. If you don't, it was very hard to get the real Takara Masterpiece exhaust due to Marlboro going after Takara and basically stopping their sales. So they ended up, pulling a lot of sales. You could get this guy on eBay from mostly international sellers, but the prices were between 100 to 130. I've seen it went all the way up to almost $200 for this figure, which is really like $60 or $70 to start with. But what ended up happening is the supply was low because Takara pulled it, and ended up, whatever product was out there got sold for really high prices. Meanwhile, the KO companies decided, well, we don't care about copyright. Marlboro's not going to come after us little companies, and they made this guy. And this was made by Takasa Tony, the typical KO company that brands their packages. And what a beautiful job they did on this KO. I can only imagine that the real figure was just as good or better. But the accessories were spot on. I mean, his face sculpt is really what's great about this figure. Really, really different from Wheeljack. Not just a reuse and repaint. Different shoulder cannons, totally different from Masterpiece Wheeljack. This whole immobilizer thing that came for free with this guy if you got the KO. I can't remember if this came with the official release. I think it did. But anyway, really just an outstanding figure for a KO. This was $30 shipped. So roughly, $20 without, if you count shipping. That is just an unbelievable price for something this good looking. Robot mode and vehicle mode, I did review this. You can go ahead and check out my video. But robot mode and vehicle mode on this guy was great. But this is number 5 on my list. One, because it's a KO. It's not the official. Number 2, it's not a G1 Transformer. I am a G1 Transformer fan. This was a Diaclone figure, and it was really the first Diaclone figure I really even cared about or thought, hey, maybe I should get this. And when it came out for $30 as a KO, I immediately wanted it. So that's it for number 5. We'll move on to number 4 here. Number 4 is going to be the KO Masterpiece Grimlock. This came late in the year, luckily made it here before the end of 2015. But this figure really, for a KO, this is kind of groundbreaking that they were able to do something with such high quality. KOs aren't really known for quality, they're known for copying. They copy what the original manufacturer does. And this figure isn't just a copy. They took time, they took care to make this something really, really good. Just the chrome is evidence of that. But also the joints, the tightness, the quality of the paint, the look of the figure, the size of the figure, how he scales with other MP figures, just everything about this was really different from what the KOs have done in the past. And my Masterpiece exhaust, by the way, did have a few little quality issues. And so did this one. I had the parts that had fallen off, but once I had those glued back on, really, and that was mostly due to poor packaging by the seller. They didn't package it well. But with that being said, I think the KO company who made this did an amazing job. The light piping, the sword, really just well done. And overall, this is my number 4 for 2015. So already we have 2 KO figures in the top 5 for the year. So we'll move on to number 3 in my collection here. Get this guy off camera. And number 3 is going to be the X-Transbots MX1 Apollyon. I still really like this figure. I think, I considered making this number 2, but it's not an official. Didn't come with the emblem. You had to kind of put that on yourself. And there are some little floppy bits here and there. But man, this really set the third-party companies in another stratosphere. This kind of put them up, almost being able to compete with Takara, because this is, in my opinion, far better than MP05, the Megatron issued by Takara. So for me, this is the definitive masterpiece Megatron. And for that reason, he's my number 3 in 2015. There are a couple issues. It's very difficult to transform. I really can't do it without the instructions. Even after practicing a few times, you're a little worried about breaking stuff. There are some loose things here and there and floppy things around, but just the look of him, the face sculpt, the quality of the paint, the ratchets, the accessories. So many accessories came with this guy. He came with the mace. He came with this gun. He came with the asteroid panel piece. He came with I can't even remember them all. There were so many. It was a whole separate box just for accessories, and that was amazing. They had a box for the figure and a box full of accessories for this guy. So this is my number 3. Really an amazing piece. Now, I said I wasn't going to be doing third party. Well, this is the only third party figure I have. I don't have anything else. So for me, this is one of the top releases, regardless of whether I'm reviewing. I think even in a standard collector's view, Apollyon is going to be in their top 5, top 10 maybe, because just this was a game changer for the third-party companies, being able to produce something with this level of quality and this close to the original without being sued, without getting in trouble, being able to go all the way to production and distribution and not have any issues. This was a game changer for third party. So I consider this, I'm not really a third party piece collector. I'm strictly a Takara or Hasbro, but this is the definitive Megatron for me, masterpiece Megatron. So that is number 3 on my list. Next we have number 2, and this is going to be tough to fit in the area, but we'll try to get it in. And of course, everyone knows this is Unite Warriors Devastator. Yeah, I mean, even the Hasbro Combiner Wars Devastator, even that I think would have made it into a top 5. Mostly because of just the sheer engineering behind making something this big stand up and not fall down and not be floppy and not be flimsy and breaking. It's just a marvel of engineering that they made this so good. On top of that, Takara decided, you know what, not good enough. We're going to make it even better. We're going to paint things. We're going to, improve some of the joints on some of the figures. We're going to add some gimmicks, the visor gimmick. We're going to make him cartoon accurate by painting things the color they were in the cartoon. They just took an already really good figure and just boosted it up into an amazing figure. The only reason this isn't number 1 is, one, it's not a masterpiece figure. I'm sort of inserting this as a masterpiece figure in my collection because there is no masterpiece Devastator. The only one that you can really call a masterpiece is the Generation Toy I forgot their name of their Devastator, but the Generation Toys version of Devastator. And that one's not even out yet. You only have 2 or 3 of the figures out so far. I think it's 2 of them. They haven't even finished making all the different figures. And that one does look amazing, but you're looking at about $600 to $700 to get that. That's a lot of money. Whereas you got this guy for Hasbro version for $140, and you could get this guy for $220. And that's like a steal to me to get 4 really nice figures. They're not masterpiece, but pretty good quality for roughly 40 something dollars, $45 each. Is that right? 6 figures. Sorry. Yeah, it's about $40. No, it's like $35 or so each. That's a very competitive price. I don't think any third party can make something this big and this good at that price point, because they're not producing it on a mass scale, and they're not going to be able to sell enough to bring the price point down. So that's why this guy is number 2 in my 2015 figures. And still, I'm amazed every time I walk by this guy. I have to stop and kind of tinker with it, play with it, repose him, do something, because he attracts your eye. The fact that he's a neon green and purple, it's the first thing you see in your collection. You can't miss it. You can't not see it, and that's what makes this guy just amazing. Number 2. All right, we'll move on to number 1 here. Let's get this guy off. This guy takes up a lot of room. And number 1 for 2015 is Masterpiece Ultra Magnus. Getting a little closer here. This guy, he looks like he came out of the cartoon. That's why I think so many people love this figure so much. And it was one they just had to do. They had to get this one done. And man, they did it right. Transforming this guy is a lot of fun. It's not annoying like some, for example, Apollyon, which is why he wasn't number 1 or number 2. He's really difficult to transform, and a lot of the third-party transformers are very difficult to transform because they want very cartoon accurate robot and alt modes. So for Takara to make a very accurate robot and alt mode in Ultra Magnus and still allow the transformation to be simple enough that it was satisfying and not annoying, that is an achievement on its own. This guy, it doesn't take an hour. Apollyon takes almost an hour to transform. This guy, probably like 20 minutes if you're just taking your time doing it slow. And I don't need instructions. I was able to do this without instructions the first time. So yeah, it's really good. I probably, there was a couple points where I had to look in the manual to see, or am I doing it right before I break it. But once I did it I didn't need the manual anymore. I'm able to transform this guy. He also came with a lot of really nice accessories. He came with the Daniel and Spike figures in their like space suits. He came with his blaster here. He had an alternate face. I'm forgetting what else he came with, but really a value, what you were getting here for the price. And I remember we paid $200 for Masterpiece Starscream MP11, and that was a piece of junk. It falls apart. It's floppy. Everyone has the wing problem. Everyone has the chest problem. The paint wasn't so great. It was just not worth $200. It was just such a high price point, and they're still selling that figure at $200. The Masterpiece Thundercracker MP11T, $200. I don't understand why the price point is so high on that figure. This guy is, I believe, $170. He definitely wasn't $200. I think it was either $160 or $170. Brand new. And for the value, the size you're getting, this is bigger. It's just more material. It's more die casts. Like, it's just a value. I don't know how else to say it. And then on top of that, they made it so cartoon accurate. And the playability, you know, the fact that he can hold other vehicles on his trailer mode. He can fit Daniel and Spike inside the cab when he's in vehicle mode. He has the missiles that can be displayed in multiple configurations. You can also take the missiles out. They don't shoot, but I don't really care because I kind of don't like shooting missiles. That's just, it's not a thing for me. I'm not going to shoot the missiles around because I'm not a kid playing with this toy. I'm an adult who wants to put this on a shelf. So to me, this was the ultimate in a collector's version of a masterpiece Ultra Magnus. Now, they did release the MP2, MP-2, I can't remember what the number was, but there was a Ultra Magnus, which was basically a recolored version of the original MP1 Optimus Prime. And it was just white, you know, it was just a white version of Optimus Prime. And I prefer cartoon accurate. So to make just a white version of Optimus Prime was kind of a cheap cop-out way to not really make a figure. And then when they came out with this, and when I saw how good it looked, I had to get it. So number one for 2015. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I started this channel in February of 2015 this year. And I now have roughly 300 subscribers. So I feel like things are going the way it's supposed to. And I've done a couple giveaways. So I like the fans. I like the feedback I'm getting. And I appreciate you guys watching my videos and subscribing and liking and commenting and having discussions. All that is everything that I wanted out of this channel. So I appreciate all of that. Now, I did want to show the worst figure of the year. And again, this is only Masterpiece and KO. And I'll be giving it up to MP25 Takara, MP25 Trax. This guy, it's not necessarily this particular figure that led to this being worst figure of the year. It was the sequence in which this figure was released. So right before MP25 Trax, there was MP24 Star Saber. I believe MP24 MP4 Star Saber. And that figure was amazing. The quality, just the amount of stuff, the value you got for your money, and the paint, the accuracy, the engineering, everything about it was amazing. So it made us think, oh, Takara is stepping up their game. They're going to another level. They're getting really good. And when anything else they come out with is, you know, from here on out is going to be amazing. Well, what they did was they changed designers. This is back to the previous designer, and he makes his own design decisions, and I can appreciate that. But you know, compared to the previous figure right before this one, MP24, this guy just doesn't hold a candle. And I understand he's only $70, $80 compared to $160 or $170. But to fall that far in quality and in engineering, you know, this is one of the main issues is this stupid thing and the way it attaches. And then, you know, kind of as far as, I guess, the accessories that came with it, they were kind of lame. You had a Blaster figure, and Blaster was just a little teeny tiny thing painted. And then you had Raoul, and Raoul didn't even have joints. It was a little figurine. It wasn't posable. It didn't fit inside the guy. It really provided no value, and it had no purpose with this figure other than to just stand next to it and look cool. And that was, you know, kind of a downfall with the MP24. You had a Brain of Courage to fit inside of the figure. It actually had a gimmick where it would push the face up. So they really raised our level of expectation. And then you come out with this guy, and who's not that bad, but you know, coming at the heels of MP24, they just, you know, really let people down and especially changing designers really let people down with the design, especially the engineering of this figure. So I consider this the worst figure in 2015 due to kind of not meeting expectations. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Hope to be releasing the KO MP18B Blue Streak soon this week, and then after that we'll be taking a look at MP26 Road Rage, and then we'll be getting our January 2016 Masterpiece News video. Usually that comes around the mid-month, so we all have all that to look forward to. Thanks everyone. Thanks for all my subscribers. Thanks for liking. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for having good discussions. I appreciate, you know, all my fans. I'll definitely have more giveaways coming in the future. And thank you again for watching. And this is sort of my year-end wrap-up. But definitely more to come. So see you next time, guys.